Things off here. Since it is, after all, Friday afternoon, I'm honored that everybody's giving part of their Friday afternoon to jump on and hear about everything we're doing and how excited we are. So just a couple of housekeeping items. We're going to record the first part of this, which is more of a presentation style to tell you all a little bit about what BioBuzz is doing really to disrupt the future of work in life sciences. But we'll stop the recording and give everybody time for some Q&A towards the end. A couple other housekeeping items. This presentation is not meant to give financial advice. I'm not authorized to do so. This is an information session to help share more about what we're doing and answer any questions around the product or just the business itself. There are also, a lot of the questions you might have, we might be directing you back to the WeFunder page, which really is meant to be the home place for all the questions you have, all the financial information, investment information. It's all handled right there. So, but I'm looking forward to seeing what questions we do have as we get towards the end. So without further ado, again, my name is Frew. I'm the founder of BioBuzz Networks. We're here to talk to you today about how we are revolutionizing and really bringing the future of work in life sciences and really what that means. It's one of those kind of buzzwords, and we'll bring that back down to what it means for you and what it means for our clients. So before I jump into that, let me just level set. What is the talent ecosystem in life sciences? And this is important because it's the foundation and framework for a lot of the solutions we're building. So the existing talent ecosystem that employers use to bring forth their innovations and their medicines to the market, they have full-time staff, part-time staff, students, interns, right? We have contractors, fractional executives, consultants. You notice how I put the $3 signs near that. So there's a dynamic workforce at play. Consultants also can include vendors, right? There's a lot of vendors and service providers. This is the ecosystem of the talent that employers engage to move their products forward. So it's dynamic, but the challenge often is when you think about jobs or projects, you typically see like a job board, which most of the time is for full-time positions only. A lot of these other elements that go into play for employers aren't visible and they're not pulled together in one place. That's because the current models that are out there are job-centric models. So again, that puts the job description, the position itself as the center of the equation, the most important thing. That's usually also the roadblock. Even if you work with a staffing agency or a recruiter, you're working around a job. They've been engaged around a job to fill. And what this does, the biggest thing that we hear, and we've talked to hundreds of customers and job seekers about this, the biggest thing we hear is it limits access, right? So you're limited to the people that apply. You're limited to the people that your recruiting or staffing agency sends you. If you're working with a consulting firm, same thing. You're limited to their pool of talent. For job seekers, you're limited to where you have access. I mean, that's what part of why people came to BioBuzz all the time is because we brought the community together and they came to access, their network and to find those next gigs or to find those next jobs. But what in reality, this job-centric model, it creates a really poor experience. I mean, all you have to do is open your LinkedIn app these days to see how many people are frustrated by the job market right now. So what we believe is that we have a solution to that. And we think that the answer goes beyond a job board. And it really starts with the foundation of what we've been known for the past 14 years, which is community. We think that a more effective and efficient solution for this problem is a community platform that continuously engages the talent landscape and that ecosystem of talent that we talked about, nurtures it, upskills it, engages it, followed by a talent marketplace, which makes it easy for employers to have access and talent to have access to employers. And again, the talent marketplace difference, it's not a job board, it's an interactive element. So it's kind of like a farmer's market, right? You're walking right up to the farmers that's growing the tomatoes and beets and carrots, right? You get to, we're bringing these two elements closer together and removing friction and removing barriers. What this does is creates a continuous kind of ecosystem, right? And this goes back to our bigger vision, is we want to have a platform for the time that we introduce you as a university student or someone coming from another field, the time we introduce you to life sciences, all the way until you retire and you just want to get out of the house to get away from your husband for 10 hours a week. We want to be a platform that you can come to, engage, learn, grow, but then also find those gigs, find those projects, find those job opportunities. So again, that's this talent marketplace concept. That's what we're shifting towards. Instead of a job being the most important thing, talent profile, it becomes the center of what we're trying to accomplish. So we spend all our time building the machine learning, the data and the AI, and we spend all our time focusing on developing talent profiles and talent skills and nurturing the talent pool. By focusing on the talent pool, not the job description, we're going to create better data for matchmaking. We're going to get to know our talent pool even better to make sure that we can position them for the best opportunities they're capable of doing. And we're able to really engage the whole talent ecosystem, not just people looking for full-time jobs. What this does is there's benefits for everybody. There's benefits for job seekers, better access, better career mobility, better upskilling, opportunity to take on gigs to grow your skills while even some moonlighting experience. For industry, it's a more efficient labor market, right? And this really emphasizes something that we are really, that we've built this model on, which is this concept that we've developed called talent logistics. Whereas at BioBuzz, we see the talent landscape more like an Amazon warehouse than a pipeline where you just shove stuff in one end and everything comes out one end and the other end. It's a very antiquated model. If you think of it more like a Amazon warehouse where you can, have better understanding of what inventory we have and how to better deploy that inventory just in time, real time to the people that need it overnight. That's what we're moving towards. And that's what gets me really excited and has got a lot of people excited about this. And employers, again, it gives employers something that's really important, especially today when capital is expensive. We've seen a lot of the layoffs. Employers are doing more with less. Doesn't mean they don't have projects that they don't have to get done. It doesn't mean they don't have to move their project forward. They just need a more flexible workforce to do so. And that's what this develops and creates. So this market it's a big market. So we're not recreating the wheel. That's another important element that I like to discuss. Is we're just creating a better wheel, better mousetrap, right? We're selling into really the life science staffing market, which is 3.2 billion in the U.S. 3.8 billion really. It's 3.2 billion just the top 30 firms. So it's a lot of monopoly in the top 30 firms that control this market. So we're selling into this market. You'll hear in our revenue models how that is. And 92% of companies use contingent workers again. So we're not trying to sell them something new. We're just giving them a more efficient, more flexible, more cost-effective way of connecting with talent. From a community standpoint, from a marketplace standpoint, again, the online recruitment market space is large, and so we're in two really good markets, for the product we're building. And so what does that look like? This is the BioBuzz honeycomb model, and we came up with this graphic. Actually, Kat came up with this graphic really to showcase and try to help to build a visual for you on what really tangibly that looks like. So if you envision BioBuzz today, we're kind of at layer one, right? A free community. We've got 20,000 plus audience. We provide content and exposure for employers. Employers hire us for employer branding. So we're giving the community free access to who are the top employers in the area. We're doing events and programming. That's not going to change, right? We're still going to be a geographically focused organization and providing this engagement. In 2024, we're launching a paid career community, which is just more robust career resources for the life sciences industry. And so that's coming. Again, it's our feeling we need to take care of the talent pool that we're nurturing, the supply of talent. So we're going to provide resources for upskilling, resources for consultants to make sure they're running an effective consulting business. So that's a big part of going to be the 2024 growth. When you think about the types of talent we're engaging, that's layers 3, 4, and 5. So that is the career pathways. That's our entry-level talent. A lot of employers hire them as contract to hire. Employers are looking for something to help de-risk their decisions on who to hire. So that's the transitioning military. That's the, again, entry-level hires. And for them, we're really providing awareness and information and kind of, basic information on the industry. The largest pool will probably be that, talent, that kind of body of talent, the staff augmentation, the project support that's in the market right now. That's probably the largest part of that $3.8 billion staffing industry is, your lab technicians and your quality specialists and validation, commission and control, your CRAs. So that kind of general talent body is going to be a large segment of the network. At the top is the kind of expert consultant network. I don't have a single BioBuzz event where I haven't met a new consultant in this industry. This industry thrives off consultants. And it's because so much of your work that you do and the work that happens is so niche and specialized. It takes expert consultants to help you, solve the problems that you're solving. When we asked around, and we've asked, again, 50 plus customers around this, startups and large companies, it surprises us, and it surprised us that it still comes back when we ask them, where do you find and access the consultants you hire, or the fractional executives, which again is a really important role for startups who are cash strapped but still need experts to validate their model and help them commercialize. They play the who do you know game. They go to their board, they go to their investors, they go to their university network or their past companies. So this who do you know game is still what kind of the lowest common denominator it comes down to. And again, we just believe there's a better way in this market to better match, these growth companies or companies looking for consulting work with the right talent. So we're selling into a very active market. So, in today's market, with advances in technology, employers are buying sourcing tools. They're applying recruiting marketing, right? Again, we're not getting rid of our recruiting marketing. Employers are really going to have a great opportunity to showcase themselves on the platform. And then specialized databases. And that's in essence what the talent market is. It's a very niche database focused on life sciences. And that's what we're developing. So we're very encouraged by this data in that, and these numbers are really indicative of the fact that HR is looking for solutions to the challenges that we've been talking about. So we're really optimistic about that. So what does the future look like? Where we are we today? Obviously, you're here because you've seen we're doing a crowdfund for our pre-seed round. That pre-seed round that we're raising is really going to help us move the company forward. So in the first quarter of the year, we're really going to be very focused on the development and the prototyping of our MVP, which stands for minimal viable product. So this is a working product where we can get customers, kick the tires on it, but we're starting the building out of that process right now. In the meantime, we're going to be doing talent onboarding, and we have some goals around how many consultants and profiles we'll be building out ahead of the product launch. We're going to be testing our matchmaking criteria, which we've developed as a proprietary, matchmaking algorithm that we're working on, and we're going to be evolving and growing all year long, and developing the career resources, the resources that you and the consultants we're working with that they need and they want in order to, better get the job they're looking for or land the client they're looking for. So that's a lot of our work in Q1 this year, is really developing that out. And while we're developing, again, the big, bold one is developing the prototype. So we'll be working with developers on building out the where the prototype, which we want to launch in March. So we launch our MVP in March to select clients. Quarter 2 is all going to be about really testing, layering, client feedback, improving the matchmaking, continuing to enhance the career community. And at that point, we will be looking to raise the second part of our seed round as we really get more validation for what we've built and what we're doing. As we move in through this year, this whole year for us is really about this first product development, learning a lot, getting the first clients on board, and really showcasing that we're solving the problems that we talked about earlier in this conversation. So as the second half of the year, we're going to be focusing on functionality improvement, UX improvement, and really our processes to grow our clients and sales. And then as we finish the year, again, continue to profile, continue to test, improve this product, which again, this year is all about, building that first version of the product that we can learn as much as we can, get as much great client feedback as we can, and see the results and success. And so a lot of engagement with clients and a lot of really trying to drive results. Focusing on our advertising model, making sure we're set up to grow, because for us, 2025, we want to be about scaling, and that's most likely will involve a Series A. That's, again, from a forward-looking statement, we'll determine that as we go along, but most likely that's probably where we'll be towards the end of the next year. Our revenue, which we'll be able to start working on right away, is 3 things. One is what we're already doing today, is it's more the advertising revenue model, and we've had that for a while with BioBuzz, and so that's going to continue. And we are excited that we're going to be able to give our clients even more targeted advertising as we build the platform out. The other one is subscriptions. So we'll have a subscription model for our clients, for the employers who are hiring on the platform. We also will have a subscription model for the career community, for those who want those extra career resources we're building. And lastly, payroll. Like I said, we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're going to give all of our employers an opportunity to payroll their hires through us and with us at a more effective and a more efficient cost than some of what they see out there in other avenues. So those will be our 3 very focused revenue streams that align with, they align with what the market is buying right now and existing budgets for our target employers. Again, just in closing today, hopefully this was a good high level overview of where we're at as a company, what we're doing. Who's doing it all is who you see here today. We've got a great team. Kat is head of our marketing community, so she's really, a lot of what you see on social, a lot of what you see about BioBuzz all comes from Kat. She's also doing a lot of work in product development. Adam, Laura, who's been in recruiting for the past 5-6 years. Myself, and then Rick Faint, who you'll hear from here shortly, is our Chief Financial Officer. We also have been building an industry advisory board to guide us along this process. Since so much of what we're doing, we want to make sure is industry-led, and we're solving real problems. We're not just solving ideas we have. So we've engaged a very experienced a board of advisors to help us along the way, from all the different elements that we need to cover, from Colonel Suarez, retired Colonel Suarez, who is really helping us with the kind of overall high-level talent logistics approach, as well as engaging the 200,000 military personnel that retire every year. So again, we've got a really good industry advisory board, and again, all their profiles are online, so we can dive into that more. So with that, I'd love to stop sharing here and turn it over to Rick to say a few words. So if you just bear with me a second when I can close this down. All right. Everybody can see me again?
Yes.
Great. All right, Rick, well, I'll turn it over for you for an intro.
Yeah. So my name is Rick Faint. I am the CFO of BioBuzz Networks, and I just wanted to give you a brief background of what crowdfunding is. up until the middle of the last decade, the rules that the SEC promulgated and the laws passed by Congress on investing were designed to protect people. And the result of that was the opportunity for normal people to be able to invest in venture-like investments was practically nil. You had to be what was called an accredited investor, and being an accredited investor meant that you had to have a net worth of over $1 million, not including your home, and you or you had to have an ongoing salary of over $200,000. The result is the venture market was closed down, as I said, to normal people. In the middle of the last decade, the Congress passed and the SEC promulgated rules around crowdfunding, which would allow companies like BioBuzz Network to offer equity in a way that is regulated by the SEC and has certain requirements, but would do that through a crowdsourced audience. So that's what we're taking advantage of with WeFunder. We're taking advantage of giving, particularly the people who are a part of the community that we've had for so many years, giving you an opportunity to be an owner of BioBuzz and what we're going to be doing in the future. We selected WeFunder as the intermediary through which we do this because WeFunder is one of the larger crowdsourcing equity platforms. They get very high marks for the simplicity with this complicated process, and they will become an ongoing source for you for information as the company grows. We'll be reporting information out to you through WeFunder. So if you have any questions about the offering, because one of the things that we can't do is verbally describe it to you, we just suggest that you go to WeFunder, type in BioBuzz Networks. That will take you to our page, and there's a lot of information available to you for that. If after doing that you still have a question, please feel free to reach out to me or Chris, and we'll do our best to answer your questions, knowing that we cannot give you investment advice, so we can't ultimately tell you whether you should or shouldn't do it. But if you got questions about how to do it, etc., we'd be happy to answer those. So, Chris, I'll turn it back to you now.
Well, thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. Yeah, just to echo what Rick said, I mean, for us, you know, if you've ever talked to me for the conversation for more than 5 minutes, you've probably heard me say community at least 2 or 3 times in that conversation. So to us, this was a natural first step in the evolution of BioBuzz. We've been around since 2009. We've evolved several times over the years. But for us to really take this big step and this big evolution, we wanted to, you know, it just felt, lack of a better term, very BioBuzzy, to like bring our community with us along this journey and to make our community stakeholders in the future of BioBuzz. So, you know, it really, it really was an opportunity that we wanted to open up and again, bring the people that have been with us for so long along this journey. So, one of those people that I've known for a long time also is John Schroyer, who is our lead investor with the Crowdfund. So I wanted to invite John to just say a few words as well.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chris. And I think I'll take a couple cues from things that you said and things that Rick said, and I'll start with the community aspect. I have been lucky enough in the consulting world to have had people that I've worked with, ex-CEOs or colleagues who have pointed me to companies that need my help. And that has resulted in me helping to found companies, helping me to grow a database of work. And one of the things that really struck me, as I was talking to Chris about what the possibilities are here, is there is a tremendous need in the biotech community now, especially in these times, of help for um, short-term or possibly long-term help to meet milestones, to gain funding, to get non-dilutive funding applications. And one of the things that really struck me was there are so many companies that could use people like me or people like other people on this call, that BioBuzz and this community could pinpoint that expertise with different companies. And that is the reason that I was so excited to invest in BioBuzz, because I think there is such a unique opportunity here to connect the folks like me and others with companies that need our expertise. I do have a little bit of gray beard. I've been there, done that. I've done that. And most of the companies out there, especially new companies, can't afford to hire me internally. But the connection with me and the network could be crucial in the success of the companies meeting milestones, getting to whether it's a seed round or an A round of funding. And I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm excited to see, how we can help companies and move this forward. So, Chris, I'll move it back to you, but I'm just really excited about the platform and what this could mean for new companies going forward.
That was great, John. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. John and I have had a lot of great conversations, and I welcome them with any of you on the phone as well. This is a community iterative process, right? Like, this isn't something we pulled out of left field. We're building this because we've heard from people like John and, from the executive side or fractional executive or consultant side. We've also heard from employers who are hiring entry-level staff or looking to, do workforce development programs or internships. We hear the same pain points from them, So again, this came because of these conversations. And John and I have talked a lot. One of the other things that's come up is, from a startup perspective, like, think about a kind of a tier 2 market like Baltimore, where there's not a lot of, Johns out there, not a lot of executives out there. This opens up a national network that, startup in Baltimore can access a fractional executive in Boston, just through, our matchmaking. That could be the difference between them raising money or not raising money. So to me, I think, again, this democratizes access to talent at all the layers of the honeycomb that we described. And I think at John's layer, it definitely has the impact in the startup ecosystem, that could be tremendous.
I'll just add though, Chris, I have hired many entry-level positions that right out of college, and I don't want to downplay the opportunities here for the younger people in this network, because many of the people that I hired as interns moved on and became honored, members of the company and solidified their positions. So that's also important.
Oh, absolutely. I'm really excited about that part of the platform. And again, we hear, as as a recruiting agency, I've recruited for 20 years. It's hard for me to recruit on an intern for a client. There's just not enough money in it for me. There's not enough. The economics don't make sense. But with the platform we want to build, we can get, we can better match interns to opportunity. And again, they don't even have to be internships. They could be projects. So, there's a lot of grad students that I've talked to. They're like, I would love to do a project. I'm like, great. Well, the platform is going to support projects. So